What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flacco with a convict's perspective. And I'm smashing, dashing, sliding on through with that little bit of energy, man. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all things to help support the channel, man, as well as please hit that bell notification for more fire content, man. What we got for today, man, is something that's going to be, hasn't been really discussed anywhere. Um, and it's about an individual named Albert Martinez, also known as Smilone de Sacra, Sacramento, who was a carnal, right? Who was killed, I believe, in July of 2022. Um, he was the last NF member to ever be killed in prison because this is very, very recent. Um, when I first got news of this back in July, I was like, I didn't know it was fucking Smilone. You know, you don't hear about too many carnals getting killed in the system or even really on the streets anymore that were currently believing that they were active. Yeah, before I go into this, I'm gonna try to do my best not to like I said, there's still individuals who have an alleged case that they're fighting, right? Um, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to discuss them or anything about who did what. I'm just going to talk about why this man had issues, why he may have potentially been killed, and what information and facts that I may have. Okay, and now I know Smilone. Smilone was cool. He was in corporate shoe with me back in shit the 90s and 2000s. He was validated. I think he was pulled up as a guy. Now I'm not. I think it may have been Wino that pulled him, if I'm not mistaken, um, from Oakland and Carlitos, I believe, from Soho. I think they recruited him because that's around the time I think Sombras got killed, got pulled as well. Sombras, and I think there was I'm gonna say Tigre and a few other individuals that were pulled at seas over there. Now, Smilone was always cool. He was pretty well. He had a mellow temperament. I mean, he was not too aggressive. Just he did his time. You know what I'm saying? He did his time the right way, and you never ever really heard his name really in the mix as far as getting caught up in conflict. He was just someone that was there, a cardinal that was doing whatever he was supposed to be doing. He was not part of too much controversy, and he didn't really hold too many positions as far as a C that I knew of. But at the end of the day, he was always cool and respectful, man. And so I was kind of shocked to hear some of the issues about him being killed. Now, the individuals who allegedly killed him alleged, you know what I mean, were man, one of them was involved in another one before, was a Joseph Gama and Alvaro Saldano. One from out of Modesto, and I think the other one was from Turlock or something as well, man. Now the interesting thing about this case is that neither one of these individuals, from my understanding, is to be a cardinal. And usually, technically, you're supposed to have a cardinal hit a cardinal. You know what I'm saying? It's just how the rules are, or at least partake in it. You know, that's always been the expectations, especially when one's available. Now, this is what I've heard, man. I'm not saying that this is why he was whacked recently, but these are the issues that he had sent me about 2 years before that had him on freeze. And I'm gonna go into details a little bit. So around 2020, right? Smiley was Smilone. He was he was using heroin. He was getting high, heroin and other stuff, right? He ended up getting some dope from a Southsider. Asked the Southsider not to fucking let the homeboys know. You know what I'm saying? He ends up getting a debt. The Southsiders end up going reporting him. From there, that became a big old issue. A dope this, a dope debt. You know what I'm saying? Southsiders got the Carnales there. You guys all know who was there: Mondo Quinn, Kirby, fucking Grumpy, and a few other cats that were at that yard. There was, I think, 5 C's on that yard. There was a couple undercovers, believe it or not. Kirby was an undercover Carnal. So it gets addressed, and with the response back in regard to him, because see, all those carnals, they have a detail team with them that secures them everywhere they go. They at least have a minimum two soldados with them, or more, depending on who they are. And so what ended up happening is they pulled his detail team, right? And then his status was not to be recognized or acknowledged as a carnal. As far as he's an NF member, this is NF business. They're dealing with it. He's on the fucking shelf. They're gonna figure out what they're gonna do with him. So basically, he was put on freeze, and the directives were that he was to had no authority, no say so, no acknowledgement. Like as far as if he tries to give you a directive, if he tries to tell you what to do, he is not to be one for anybody to answer to. But they're not to sit there and disrespect him. They're not to do anything like that. But they pulled his detail team, which means he didn't have security no more. So what that means basically from there, if they want to get him, they can get him, right? So apparently, that was an issue. You know what I'm saying? Owing See, this is like the second time I've heard about individuals that were. Um, there's a lot of drug debts going on, and a lot of these carnales are now using out there on these lines. You know what I'm saying? I've heard some issues about fucking what's his name, Estevan, and you know, getting fucking dope in Salinas Valley doing the same fucking shit. So it's kind of hard to imagine because I know these dudes when we were supposed to be sober. In the shoe, most people are sober the whole time. If they get their little fucking issue here and there, they get their little issue here and there, right? But you know, to hear stuff like this, you know, to turn into back into dope fiend tactics is what you basically seen right here. And so basically, the homeboys had him on freeze for a while, and what ended up coming back was eventually they reinstated everything with him. He was cleared. Now, the speculation is though is that these type of debts happen again. His using got out of hand again recently. Now, I'm not saying that that's the reason why he got whacked, but that's a fucking good fucking reason if you think about it. If you've already had one prior issue for going into debt with the Southsiders, you do it once, you're probably going to do it again. And that means if you're using dope, there's a good chance that your actions are not going to be up to par with what's expected of you as far as, you know, these inside the chain of authority, right? Which is what you would call a NF stronghold, right? A chain of authority, because only carnales are really the true authority on the yard. Um, you have a whole different departments. You have finance department, you have money. So the only reason why someone's usually going to get fucking whacked is usually over fucking money, money or fucking abuse. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you that if his using wasn't the reason why he got whacked, it contributed to it. If that makes sense, his actions probably got out of hand. Because most of the carnales, if they're over there sober and you know in the shoe, oh, their actions are going to be 100% all the time. They're going to be up to par. They're going to be fucking where they need to be, and they're going to handle business. Why do you think everybody fucks up when they get out to the streets? Because when they get out to the streets, all those fucking the dopes are available, all that access to it, then they start fucking using. Shit gets chaotic, man. That's the fucking truth. That's what happened with fucking Huicho. You know what I mean? And a lot of other carnales, Embros. You know what I'm saying? People get out of hand. And this is probably what happened with Smilone because now if they're using out there in the yard, it's going to get out of hand. And see, it wasn't his using that necessarily got him out of hand. It was the actions behind it, getting into debt. You know what I mean? The way he's looking, probably some of his actions. Because you already know if what dope fiends do. Dope fiends have no problem fucking throwing anybody under the bus if it serves their purpose and what they need. So just think about how many people's actions are probably getting crossed up based upon one's actions being on drugs. People change. You know what I'm saying? You're not the person that you see when they're sober. They change into a whole different animal. And I suspect that this may have happened. You know what I'm saying? From what I know is that the drug usage was the reason why he got caught back in the mix. Now, if there's more details to it, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that there's other things that are there. But I do know the issue that I just brought up, why he was initially put on freeze around 2020 was for fucking getting in debt with the Southsiders and keeping that from the household, asking them not to report it. You know, I mean, that's the thing that was kind of interesting is he got at them like, hey, don't let anybody know. You know, you're not supposed to let anybody know anyways your business transactions, but the need for him to tell the Southsiders that he was dealing with, it kind of rang some bells like maybe there's more to this. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, all these issues of one-on-one hits or fucking conflicts in prison, they're always over fucking a dope debt. So I guarantee you some of these killings that we've talked about on here, there's probably more to it. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee it. There's probably more to it, man. You know, and it's crazy, man. You know, some of the things that I've talked to a few people that were there during this time area. I mean, that know the information, and they just told me different things about different people that surprised the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't shock me. You get what I'm saying? None of this shocks me because this has been going on for fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Dudes on the main line. Before, when the Carnales weren't out there was always those bros out there that were fucking secretly using fucking heroin and abusing their authority. Eventually, truth crushed to the earth rises again. Eventually, everything comes out in the wash. And everything does. Now, was Smiley a good dude? Smiley was a good motherfucker, man. Could his actions have been kind of contrary based upon using? Probably. Could he have hit it? He probably was hiding it to where the rest of the manpower didn't know what was going on. But those at the top are always going to see what they're doing. They're going to hear about the rumblings and the whispers of the business dealings and whatnot. And I bet you he got in debt. See, a lot of these fucking hits that have been happening too are also people getting in debt. You know, cell phones, promises here and there, and then you got to deal with your own. You know what I'm saying? So if you think that people are just hitting people to hit people, nah. A lot of people, I hate to say it, man. I'm not an advocate for violence, but a lot of times people put themselves in that position for it to happen. And when you commit to yourself to any one of these organizations, you carry yourself, you represent that organization. So everything you do reflects upon that whole organization. Therefore, your actions must be on time, 100%. You can't leave any room for people to fucking sit there and clown or look at you bad or fucking do anything to degrade any of these groups because none of these organizations are going to tolerate that, man. That's one thing. Everybody's very prideful. They're all alpha males. They all have egos, and ain't no one going to be subject to fucking making their own people look bad. It just isn't going to happen. Anyways, that was the one issue that I heard about Smiley, man, and it shocked me because he was fucking humble. He was cool. He had a little fucking see, I knew him when he was fucking young. You know what I'm saying? When he was well, he was older than me, but he was a youngster. He's probably about, let me see, shit, back then. This was probably like in '99, probably. So he was probably about shit, probably 28 years old. You know what I'm saying? He had glasses around that time. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a bunch of carnales there in courtroom with us, man. Fucking, man, they even disappeared. You know, never to be heard from again. Chilo from Saho, fucking Carlitos, Wino, Sombras, uh, Smilone, fucking Mano from fucking Oakland, or Mono from Oakland. Um, yeah, there was a whole bunch of people, man. And you know, that's one thing that we used to stress in there was fucking no tolerance for the drug usage. So now it's acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Because I can only imagine the type of rift and conflicts and crazy shit that be going on in prison nowadays. But it's all about money nowadays too, though, guys. You know, there's no cause or lucha really on those lineas. You know what I'm saying? And the whole focal point now is about money. They have actually a finance department within their COC that runs all the operations for monies just at that location, that prison. You know, like you see in the fucking blood in, blood out, the little fucking tablet and shit with fucking paper and shit. Yeah, they got a little fucking ledger and shit of who owes what and how much money goes in, where it goes to, and all that shit, man. Which is smart. You know what I'm saying? Um, which was always the goal of these groups to be able to establish each facility in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But now it's really been achieved. Them getting out to the mainline has gave them access to so much more. You know what I'm saying? And the way they can communicate makes it so much easier for them to do the things that allow them to prosper. Anyways, yeah, this is just a little spill about what happened to Smiley. Like I said, I can't say if there was more to it. I'm pretty sure there is, but I think a lot of it had to circle around the issues of him using dope, getting in debt with Southsiders and whatnot. I think that contributed a lot to it. If not, that may have been the whole reason. Because you got to remember, to get to a target, they're anticipating it. So sometimes you take someone off fucking freeze, put that they're clear just to get fucking closer to where you can fucking move on. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably was, when he was put on freeze the first time and they took his detail team, he probably was fucking a little bit spooked. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's the sad thing is that if you have an addiction issue and you haven't found a way to solve that, you will take risks and put yourself in positions that will fucking endanger life, even though fucking you know it, you still do it. That's how strong addiction can become, especially in prison. With that said, hope you guys have a good one. I'm gonna do a live tonight. Best Northern Cali Chicano rapper, Raza rapper, however you want to label it. I'm gonna be downloading tracks and we're gonna go live about 8 p.m. maybe later, and we're gonna do a poll afterwards of who you guys think was the best. I'm taking like the best song from those that are known. You know, I'm taking all fucking all suggestions as well. So put them in either there's a thread or post on my page. Put some down. Let me know who you think and whatnot. And we're gonna do that here tonight. With that said, I'm gone.